Why Judaism, Islam and Christianity hid Solomon's seal, and how Freemasonry uses this secret power, how the seal of Solomon became the most feared symbol by traditional religions. Have you ever wondered why a symbol as powerful as the seal of Solomon practically vanished from the official narratives of Judaism and Islam? While these religions exalt Solomon as history's wisest king, they deliberately silence the true power behind his wisdom, a magical symbol that controlled demons, dominated elements, and opened portals between dimensions. What you're about to discover will shatter everything you believed about spirituality and hidden power. The Seal of Solomon isn't just a decorative six-pointed star, it's a manifestation tool so intense that the very religions that should preserve it chose to bury it in oblivion. Picture this for a moment. If Solomon truly possessed a ring with supernatural powers, capable of commanding 72 demons, controlling winds, and building temples with help from invisible forces, why does modern Judaism treat this as mere legend? Why does Islam, which recognizes Solomon as a prophet, avoid mentioning his magical methods? The answer is disturbing and revealing. These religious traditions discovered that true spiritual power cannot be controlled by institutions. The Seal of Solomon represents direct connection between the individual and cosmic forces, without intermediaries, without hierarchies, without institutional control. In the original sacred texts, especially in the Testament of Solomon and ancient Arabic manuscripts, we find detailed descriptions of how the symbol worked. It wasn't superstition, it was advanced spiritual technology. Every line, every triangle, every intersection of the hexagram carried specific frequencies that resonated with different planes of existence. The upper hexagram connected with celestial energies, while the lower one anchored these forces in the material plane. This fusion between heaven and earth, between spirit and matter, created an energetic field capable of materializing desires, healing ailments, and even altering physical reality. But here's what most terrifies traditional religions. Anyone can access this power. You don't need priests. You don't need temples. You don't need institutional approval. The seal works through your own expanded consciousness and focused intention. Practice right now. Mentally draw a six-pointed star. Visualize golden light filling each triangle. Feel energy moving in ascending and descending spirals. Even the simple visualization already activates frequencies that religions prefer you ignore. Try this powerful exercise. For the next 3 days, trace the Seal of Solomon in the air with your right index finger. Upon waking, while drawing, visualize a situation in your life that needs resolution. Don't ask for help, declare your intention that the perfect solution already exists and is manifesting through you. Pay close attention to sudden insights, casual conversations bringing relevant information, opportunities appearing without active seeking. This is the seal working not through external miracles, but through activation of your own internal divine potential. If you feel this connection forming, if something within you recognizes this ancestral truth, leave awakened in the comments. Like this video if you're ready to discover knowledge that was deliberately hidden from you. And subscribe to the channel, because we're just scratching the surface of this spiritual conspiracy spanning millennia. What if you discovered how Freemasonry stole the power of Solomon's seal? While Judaism and Islam buried the true power of Solomon's seal, a secret organization was silently appropriating this spiritual technology to build an empire of worldwide influence. Freemasonry didn't just preserve knowledge of the seal, it transformed it into the foundation of their entire occult power system. You need to understand something shocking. Freemasonry's founders weren't simple builders. They were heirs to esoteric traditions tracing directly back to the Templars, who had discovered lost manuscripts during the Crusades. Among these texts were complete instructions for using Solomon's seal in manifestation rituals and energy control. Observe the most recognized Masonic symbols. The compass and square naturally form a hexagram when overlapped. This isn't coincidence, it's applied sacred geometry. Every Masonic lodge is built following proportions that replicate Solomon's seal frequencies, transforming physical space into an energetic amplifier. But here's what they never reveal publicly: Higher-degree Masonic rituals involve conscious activation of these energetic fields. While initial degrees deal with philosophical symbolisms, true masters learn to use the seal to influence events, attract opportunities, and establish connections that seem like coincidences to the outside world. Think about names that have dominated politics, economics, and culture over recent centuries. Many were Masons. They used principles derived from Solomon's seal to synchronize their actions with cosmic cycles, ensuring their projects flowed with universal currents instead of against them. Most fascinating is how they adapted ancient Solomonic invocations for the modern world. Where Solomon commanded demons, modern Masons command market trends, social movements, and even elections. The language changed, but the energetic mechanics remain identical. The difference between you and high-degree Masons isn't access to knowledge, it's simply awareness of how to apply it. The seal has always been available to everyone, but few people know how to activate it correctly. Here's a practical technique you can use immediately. Draw Solomon's seal on paper. In the upper triangle, write your spiritual or elevated objective. In the lower one, the practical manifestation you desire. Place this paper under your bed for 7 nights. Visualizing both triangles balancing perfectly. You'll be amazed by the synchronicities that begin appearing in your life. Doors that were closed suddenly open. Right. People appear at exact moments. Opportunities emerge from nowhere. This isn't magic, it's conscious alignment with universal laws governing reality. Modern Masonic lodges use similar techniques during their meetings, but they've institutionalized what should be a personal practice. They've created dependency on group rituals when individual application is far more powerful. The most guarded secret is that the seal works more effectively for individuals than for organizations. When you use it personally, without group dynamics or hierarchical approvals, its power amplifies exponentially because there's no dilution of focused intention. If you're beginning to perceive these connections, if you feel there's a world of possibilities beyond what you've been taught, comment activated below. Leave your like if this knowledge resonates with something deep within you, and subscribe to the channel because we still have many more secrets to reveal about how these forces truly operate in our reality. Why traditional religions fear you using Solomon's seal? There's a deep and visceral fear in traditional religious structures whenever someone mentions practical use of Solomon's seal. This terror isn't unfounded, it's based on a truth that threatens the very existence of spiritual control systems we know today. When you truly understand the seal's power, you stop needing spiritual intermediaries. You no longer need priests to interpret divine will, don't need complex rituals conducted by religious authorities, don't need institutions to validate your connection with the sacred. Orthodox Judaism avoids discussions about Solomon's seal precisely because their original scriptures describe a king who accessed divine power directly, without rabbis, without temple, without priestly hierarchy. Solomon spoke with angels and demons as equals, negotiated with cosmic forces on equal terms. This completely destroys the concept that you need religious authorization to connect with the divine. In Islam, the situation is even more complex. Solomon is recognized as a prophet, but his methods are carefully omitted from popular preaching. Sufi mystical texts preserve some techniques, but only for initiates in closed circles. Why hide something a prophet used openly? The answer is disturbing, because it works, and when it works, people stop depending on external structures for their spiritual evolution. Imagine what would happen if millions of people discovered they can manifest abundance, healing, and wisdom using a simple symbol, combined with focused intention and correct knowledge. The entire system of tithes, donations, pilgrimages, and institutional dependency would crumble overnight. Christianity knew these principles originally. Gnostics, Essenes, early Christian mystics used variations of the seal in their practices. But when Christianity became the Roman Empire's official religion, this knowledge was deliberately suppressed because it created independent, spiritually self-sufficient Christians. Even today, when you begin using the seal consistently, something curious happens. You stop feeling lost, stop seeking external salvation, stop believing you need to suffer to be worthy of blessings. You simply know, at a deep and unshakable level, that you're an integral part of divine creation with direct access to all universal resources. This terrifies any system that depends on keeping you in spiritual scarcity and external dependency. Here's an exercise that will prove this to yourself. For the next 3 days, upon waking, trace Solomon's seal in the air with your right index finger. While drawing, mentalize a situation in your life needing solution. Don't ask for help. Declare your intention that the perfect solution already exists and is manifesting through you. Watch carefully what happens over the following days. Notice sudden insights, casual conversations bringing relevant information, opportunities appearing without active seeking. This is the seal working not through external miracles, but through activation of your own internal divine potential. The most profound realization comes when you understand that every organized religion began with individuals who had direct mystical experiences identical to what the seal facilitates. But over time, these institutions replaced personal mystical connection with regulated worship, controlled interpretation, and dependency on external authority. If you feel this truth echoing in your soul, if you recognize this wisdom as something you always knew but had forgotten, leave freedom in the comments. Like if you're ready to embrace your true divine nature, and subscribe, because we're revealing secrets that can completely transform your spiritual reality. How using Solomon's seal can completely transform your reality. Now, we reach the most important moment. How you can integrate the true power of Solomon's seal into your daily life safely and effectively. What you're about to learn aren't ancient theories, they're practical techniques that work regardless of your religious beliefs or spiritual tradition. First, understand that the seal isn't a passive amulet you carry hoping for miracles. It's an active consciousness tool that amplifies your natural ability to co-create with universal forces. Each time you use it consciously, you're strengthening your direct connection with higher dimensions of existence. The most powerful technique involves what original manuscripts call Solomonic breathing. Sit comfortably and visualize Solomon's seal floating before you, radiating golden light. Inhale deeply while imagining cosmic energy descending through the upper triangle and filling your heart. Exhale slowly, visualizing this energy anchoring through the lower triangle and spreading throughout your body. Repeat for 9 complete breaths. You'll notice immediate change in your consciousness state, mental clarity, inner power, sensation, deep connection with something much greater than yourself. But here's the secret separating amateur practitioners from true masters. Specific intention. Don't use the seal to ask things from the universe as if it were an external entity. Use it to remind the universe and yourself of who you really are and what you're here to manifest. During visualization, instead of thinking, "I want abundance," mentally declare, "Am abundance manifested in human form." Instead of, "I need healing," affirm, "Am perfect health expressing through this body." This perspective shift activates completely different frequencies in the quantum field surrounding us. For specific situations, create what ancient texts call personalized seals. Draw the basic hexagram, but add symbols representing your intention in the center. For prosperity, use abundance symbols. For relationships, harmony symbols. For protection, strength symbols. Your subconscious will understand symbolic language and direct energy appropriately. Timing is also crucial. Use the seal during waxing moon phases for new manifestations, full moon to amplify existing intentions, and waning moon to release blockages. The ancients knew these cycles and synchronized their practices for maximum efficacy. Keep a journal of your experiences. Note synchronicities, insights, subtle changes beginning to occur. This not only documents your progress, but trains your consciousness to perceive signs that the seal is working on levels your rational mind might not immediately recognize. Remember, you're not invoking external forces to solve your problems. You're activating your own internal divine potential and aligning your consciousness with universal laws that have always been available. The seal is simply a key opening doors that always existed within you. This ancestral knowledge is finally returning to those ready to use it with wisdom and responsibility. You're part of a new generation of seekers who don't accept artificial limitations imposed by external control systems. The transformation begins when we stop waiting for permission and start acting with our true divine nature. Your consciousness is the most powerful force in your reality. The seal simply helps you remember how to use it. If you feel this truth vibrating in every cell of your being, if you're ready to assume your full spiritual power, comment manifestation below. Leave your like if this video opened possibility portals in your mind. Subscribe and share this knowledge with those you know are ready to awaken.